Yeah, this is my research. Now you will notice that there is these three gray dashes that you see. Okay, that is the delimiter which you use to separate sections in Gamma. Okay, so the 5 slides you can actually segregate in Gamma using this. And once you have given Gamma the prompt, once you have given it the content outline, what do we want to do with this content? Do we want to generate from this note? Do we want to summarize it or do we want to preserve the text? Um, Maybe I'll want to summarize this into a long text or document. Okay. So then I click on continue to prompt editor. And now the prompt editor will configure whatever prompt I have just given to it. Okay. See, it has configured this prompt. Okay. Very nicely. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to delete this part because this was meant to explain to Gamma and not really keep in the PPT. Okay. So then Gamma has read that, okay, slide one, where he wants this, slide two, she wants this, four, five, she wants this, so on, so forth. It has created 5 cards for me. This is how the prompt editor screen looks. Now I can have a generate content part of it. I can have a condense content, uh, which will shorten or summarize the current content, or I can have a preserve part of it as well, where I retain the text as is. I'm just going to go with condense because this is too text heavy and I would like to keep it within 25 words in every slide, okay, as I explained. So then we have concise over here, and we can select the visual theme as well, okay? Do we want it to be light, dark, blue, whatever color? For now, I'm just going to select one theme and then edit later basis what I see. And then they tell you which is the image source you want. Do you want automatic or AI images or whatever? I'm just going to click on automatic maybe. And cool. So now that we have all of this ready, I'm going to click on generate. Okay. Gamma, in a matter of less than 30 seconds, is going to generate a 5 slide pitch deck for me basis the content which I got from Perplexity. Okay. While Gamma is creating this, I want you all to tell me, like raise your hands and um, tell me if you have actually spent more time beautifying PPTs in your life than thinking and doing the research work. Raise your hands if you've spent more time in your life beautifying PPTs than doing the research work and even creating content. Right? Absolutely. I see everyone is agreeing on the chat most of the time, right? Yes, yes, yes. Beautifying PPTs. Yes, agree. That's so true. Yes, exactly. Right? Now it's so sad. Like, the thinking part should ideally take you longer, the research and the thinking. The visualizing part of it shouldn't take you as long. And today, tools like Gamma help you solve that. Look at this. Look at this beautiful PPT Gamma has created in less than half a minute for you with all the prompt that you have given to it. Okay. Isn't this great? And this is not it, right? I mean, I want to edit this. This is not the complete end outcome. And I understand that. It's only a step one. You need to also supplement it with your thinking. You can edit out a lot of these things on Gamma, by the way. Okay. You can change the theme over here by clicking on theme. So, any of these themes you want, right? You can go to the dark mode and you will get only dark themes over here. You can go to the light mode and you will get only lighter themes over here. Okay. You can go to professional and you will find all crisp and professional PPT templates over here. You can go to colorful and look, we have colors like greens and your purples and your oranges over here, right? So which one do you folks want me to use in this PPT outline? Any preference, any theme preference? Any theme preference? Professional, purple, this one, blue, professional or light, dark. You select. Okay, thank you. Let me select. Okay, dark, light. Okay, I'm getting a lot of mixed responses. Why don't I let this be in this one maybe? It looks a little like Amazon's colors also actually. I'm just going to let it be in this color. And we've chosen a dark theme, which is Stardust for our PPT outline, right? And once we finalize this theme, we can even edit it out. Okay. So I understand that this is not it. Okay. You might want to edit out some of this content. You might want to reduce the size because some of this might not be very readable right now. So you can do a lot of things, right? Profit boost. Instead of profit boost, maybe you want to just write profit and revenue boost. So you can very easily edit out the content here. Let's say you don't like this image. You don't need to settle for this image. You can ask AI to make some changes to this image. Okay, it's an AI generated image after all. So you can change this image, you can change some of the outline of this layout. You can add more text here. Let's say you wanted to add more text here. Maybe you want to have a different image. Maybe you want to change the sizes and the yeah, maybe you want to have less space for the image and more for the text over here. You can make a lot of edits in the output that Gamma has given to you. You don't need to settle for this output, okay? So you can keep changing the text, you can keep changing the images, you can add more slides, you can add more numbers and statistics and all of that, okay? So, and all of this, by the way, is available in the free version of Gamma. Isn't this lovely? Isn't this lovely? Right? And you can even edit with AI. So you can open an AI agent over here and can like help you do the research and refine things and restyle. So you can try a lot of things and play around on Gamma and do this. Okay. You can like add icons and all of that. You can like just ask AI to add an icon here. So it can do a lot of things. And currently the agent is in its beta stage, I believe, but I'm sure it'll get better with time. Okay. So that is one part of it. That is the first visual tool we discussed, which is Gamma. All right. Moving on to the second tool is just one second. I need to hide the controls. Yeah. A lot of you are raising hands, which is why. Yeah. So then the second tool we're going to discuss for today for designing visual presentations is canva.com. Okay. Canva.com. Has anyone used Canva before? Anyone familiar with Canva? Anyone used it? Me. AI version, yes. Okay, great. I see a lot of you have used Canva. Don't feel threatened if you have not used Canva. That is also perfectly fine. Okay. We're going to anyway discuss this from scratch. I don't want to teach you just simple, plain, basic, boring PPT editing tips, right? I want you to know new designs and new AI tools today. So we're going to learn about Canva today. Now, there are three things you can do on Canva for our use case. Okay. There are three things you can do. One is you can go to ready-made Canva templates. You can click on templates here and you will find a bunch of, maybe like tens of thousands of free Canva templates, which you can click on and then edit it, right? You can literally click on this template and edit it out for your use case. Okay. So that is the first use case of Canva for PPT creation. Okay. So let's say you want to create a PPT for business. You can just select a business filter and then it is giving you a bunch of things. Wherever you see this symbol, it is only for Canva Pro. But wherever you don't see this symbol, for example, this particular design, you can use it completely for free. Okay, so that is the first use case of Canva. The second use case of Canva is you go to Canva AI. Okay, there's this button you will find on canva.com, which is called Canva AI. Go to Canva AI, and now you can literally type in your prompt over here. Okay, you can type in your prompt over here in this prompt window on Canva AI and explain to it what is that you want to create. That you want to create a PPT for AI retention techniques for Amazon India, and it's going to create some designs and all of that for you. Okay, so that is another part of it. It's going to create something for you from scratch. Okay, but what we are going to use today is that we are going to actually use the output which we have very nicely created on Gamma. Okay, we already have created this very lovely output on Gamma. We're going to use this output and then edit it further in Canva. That is just my personal preference. You can continue to edit it on Gamma, but I like to edit it on Canva better. I feel I'm a little more hands-on over there. So I'm going to export this particular document into a PPT or something so that I can import it into Canva for editing. Okay. So I export the document from Gamma and import it into Canva for further fine tuning of my PPT and editing it out for me. Okay. So then I go to Canva AI. Okay. By the way, I'm still using Canva's AI feature. I click on upload and then I simply upload the PPT I just downloaded from Gamma. Okay. And then what do I want Canva to do for me? Okay. What do I want Canva to do for me? I simply paste the presentation prompt generation thing that output. I want to create a PPT with this output, prepare a 5, 6 slide deck. Okay, this is simply what I tell Canva to do for me. And I click on submit. Okay. So then Canva AI will simply do all the thinking and prepare a 5 to 6 slide deck for me using the output that Gamma I've uploaded here. Okay. So that is one part of how we can excitingly use Canva AI for our use case. So you don't have to necessarily stick with one tool. You can use the best of all the tools, mix and match, and then create a nicer output. Okay. So I believe Canva is taking a little bit time to upload this. Why don't I do one more thing? Okay, Canva is still taking some time. So see, it has generated this. Okay, it has started generating sections, etc., etc. But what I'm just gonna do and show you today here is that you can just click on generate design. It can create a very nice, visually stunning PPT for you. Okay, like I told you, Canva was there in the pre-Gen AI era, and now with AI, it is only advancing a lot more. So one part is where you can ask Canva to create this presentation for you, but it's taking a lot of time. So what I'm just simply going to do is click on templates. Okay, click on, sorry, just one second. Yeah, just go back to home and upload my original design. Okay, let me upload my original design and simply edit it now. Okay, let me just simply upload my design from Gamma and edit it here. Okay. This is just for the sake of time crunch because, it's taking a lot of time. And see, I've uploaded the thing into Canva. Now I can edit it over here. Just like you edit in PowerPoint, you can edit it over here. Okay. So you can edit, let's say, any text you want over here. You want to reduce the size, you can do it here. You want to add some text, you can do it here. You want to change this image, you can go to elements and go to graphics and probably add some other element you want over here. Okay, let's say you want I don't know, this image over here. So you can completely add more elements, you can add more icons, and things like that over here. Okay, you can put boxes around this like I taught you, remember? So you can put boxes around the key statistics. You can change some of these diagrams, change some of the colors if you would like if you want to flip the colors, you don't want an orange, maybe you want a pink. Although this looks ugly, but I'm just telling you that, these are some things you can do with it. So you can edit and add icons over here. If you want to remove the watermark, you can remove the watermark. Gamma has given you this watermark. I simply went to Canva, uploaded it, and removed this watermark here. See, it's gone now. So now people don't know you've used Gamma to do this. Okay. And you can insert icons, you can remove watermark, you can add footnotes over here. You can even add mind maps for visual cues. So you know, let's say that this process flow, right? Churn reduction, sales growth, and repeat customer success. It's a 3-step process. And you want to add a process flow, you want to add a visual diagram over here, you can even do that. For that, I'm going to show you a new tool, which is called Napkin. Okay, I will show you a new tool now for your infographics and mind maps and the visual part of it, which is called app.napkin.ai. Okay, over here, you can simply go and paste the part of your text which you want to generate an infographic for. So for example, we want to generate an infographic for this slide, right? Results you can measure and scale. E-commerce leaders see this much reduction in churn. Amazon's retention can help 60% sales. These strategies are proven with 1% improvement in churn, adding millions to Amazon India's bottom line. Great. Let's say that I want an infographic out of it. I will paste this text into napkin.ai and then click on the generate, the blue lightning bolt, the blue generate icon. Okay, and see, it has generated such nice infographics for me. Okay, it has generated very nice infographics for me. It will give you a lot of options. You can choose from like 10 different options for the infographics on Napkin. And see, one option is this one, then there is this one, then there is this one, whichever you want. I personally love this one, but they're giving you so much more than that. See, don't you love these infographics? If you were to create this on your own, it would take you an hour to create something like this on your own, right? But with Napkin, you did this in 2 seconds, literally. and it can beautifully design your thoughts into proper charts and diagrams. So, for example, we loved this one, right? I'm just going to click on it, and now it has inserted this particular thing for me. I can even select different font styles and all of that. Let's say I selected this, but you don't need to settle for this. Okay. Just because Napkin has given you this output, you don't need to settle for it. All of these are customizable. Please remember that. Okay. All of these are customizable. So instead of sales increase, if you want to write revenue increase, if you instead of 15 to 20%, you want to write 15 to 25%, whatever it is, right? You can easily customize all of this. You don't need to settle for this output. You can even customize the colors if you like. Okay, if you want to make it gray, if you want to make it colorful, whatever it is, you can customize whatever you want over here and use this. Now, I was creating my PPT on Canva, remember? I have moved to Napkin to create this chart. How can I use this chart back in Canva, right? I can click on export, the download arrow, export. I can choose a light or a dark mode. Since our PPT is in the dark mode, it makes more sense to export this in the dark mode, and maybe click on clipboard. So now it is copied on clipboard. Okay. We can go back to our Canva template. Okay. Maybe even duplicate this slide, remove this part because we have actually substituted it with our new design on napkin. Sorry, what is going on? It's not letting me select without this. I can just multi-select all these tools and click on Control V. Okay, so I can paste it. And once I paste it, it comes in the upload part of Canva. Okay, so I can just go to upload, and my infographic has been it's come over here. Okay, my infographic has come over here. So see, I can actually use this, and I can like customize colors here as well. Let's say I don't want the greens to be here. I want them to be like orange and black. So I can do that here as well. Okay, so I can continue the customizations here. See, it looks nice, right? And I've created a very simple mind map infographic using Napkin AI. Isn't that lovely? Okay, isn't that lovely? You can make editable charts here, and even use Napkin for doing some of this work, some of these visuals. Okay. So are you with me so far? Is everyone with me so far? Have we learned some really, okay, a lot of you are typing MB. I see that some of your other trainers have been doing this, asking you to type in that MB. Okay, no problem. I have very successfully explained some nice concepts to you, and I'm very happy about that. And because you've been a great audience, I want to show you one bonus tool, okay, which I did not promise earlier. So I had promised Gamma, Canva, and Napkin to you for your visual tools. I'm going to talk about one more bonus tool to you, which is called GenSpark. Okay. I don't know if you've heard about GenSpark. Anyone heard about GenSpark? Anyone? Anyone's used it? Okay, great. So what we're going to do in GenSpark is we're going to go to genspark.ai. Okay. Now, GenSpark is like a general purpose AI. Okay. GenSpark is an agentic tool, everyone, for your knowledge. And I'm going to use the AI slides feature on GenSpark. Okay. This AI slides feature on GenSpark, I'm going to click on that. Okay. And it's like a super agent. Okay. It's like an all in one super agent for you. So GenSpark is actually going to use a lot of AI tools in the backend to automatically create PPTs for you. Okay. It's basically it's just going to create the entire PPT for you from a single prompt. And I think it's a very, very useful tool for working professionals who want to save time on structuring, on designing, on wording, right? You can just simply give GenSpark a topic or a prompt, and it can automatically build a full blown deck for you with titles and bullet points and design layouts and all of that. Okay. So why don't we try it out? Okay. The same prompt which we were using for GPT and Perplexity and all that, right? The same prompt which we were using for content creation, I am going to paste the same prompt into GenSpark in the AI slides mode. Okay. I pasted the same prompt you are pasting in GPT so far in GenSpark in the AI slides mode. Okay, it's a bonus tool I'm showing to you guys. Now, one thing to be mindful of is that GenSpark has really limited free credits, unfortunately. But it's such a nice tool that I couldn't resist myself from showing it to you. And you usually get 100 free credits every day in the free plan. And 100 free credits is enough for maybe one or two prompts only. But I think it's a tool worth trying for our use case. Okay. So that is one thing. Second thing is GenSpark takes a little more time to do this because, come on, I mean, it's creating the entire PPT from for you from just one prompt. Like GPT so far or Perplexity so far was just giving you the content. Gamma or Napkin or Canva so far was usually just giving you the visual part from a content we pasted for it. However, GenSpark is an all-in-one super agent. Okay, so it's gonna create right from the content till the end PPT for you. And I think, when you're facing tight deadlines, you can just like get a very solid draft from GenSpark to think, it's like a personal slide assistant. I have personally used it and it's gotten me, I would say 80% there in just a matter of minutes. Okay. So let's just give another minute or two to GenSpark to do its magic. Okay. Let's just give another minute or two. I think it's in the final stages. You will see that another canvas has opened up on the right side, which will give us a preview of our slides. Okay. It's given us a preview of our slides here. So yeah. And you will notice that, by the way, you can also edit out the content and the design in GenSpark. Um, so it's great, it's great for pitches and your reports and your classroom teaching, like what I'm doing right now. So you can completely use GenSpark for this use case. While this particular window of GenSpark is loading, okay, let me show you another output I had created on GenSpark before this class. Okay, this is how a typical output would look on GenSpark. While that window is loading, I want you to just see how this one works. Okay, look at this amazing 5 slide deck GenSpark has given me. Have you usually seen PPTs like this? Can you imagine you would have made something like this? It has given you a crazy caption. It has given you graphs. It has given you numbers. It has given you bullet points and then, your checkpoints. It is used very nice soothing colors for Amazon India, right? And just look at this, right? Some slides are content heavy, some slides are lighter, and you can even edit all of this. You can click on fact check content, you can click on AI edit and do a lot of editing. You don't need to settle for this. Okay, you can literally just click on advanced edit. Okay, and it will open your editor in a new window over here, and then you can choose whatever editing you want to do in this new window. Okay, so you don't need to settle for the output that GenSpark gives to you. That is just a base. That is just stage one. You can edit out a lot of this. Okay, let's say that you don't want the sources here. You can just delete it, whatever it is that you want to edit out, you can completely edit it out. If you want to increase the font size for all of these texts, right, you can do that. Because this font looks a little small to me, why not at least keep it at 22? So you can make all of these changes just as you would do in a regular PPT. And isn't this slide 80% ready? Like you just need to make some changes, some tweaks here or there, understand what it's saying, maybe delete some content if it feels too text heavy. But you can use so much stuff on GenSpark and see the prompt that we had given, it is still writing the HTML code for it. It typically takes 5 to 10 minutes for GenSpark to give you the end output, which is why I kept one ready for backup, in case this one doesn't load. But you see, it has started creating our slides. The prompt we gave right now has also started creating slides on GenSpark. And isn't this mind blowing? I think I personally like it even better than Gamma or Canva. Don't you think so? Don't you think so? Don't you think so? Yeah. Great. So it's going to create the rest of the slides, but I hope you get the crux of how GenSpark is doing this, right? I hope you get the crux of how GenSpark is doing it. Awesome. Going back, so now we understood the stage two. which was the design part of it using Gamma, Canva, Napkin, and GenSpark, of course. Now, I will actually even show you some other sample outputs I had created earlier from the other tools, right? So this is one sample output I had created on Gamma before. Okay, this is just the same prompts I had used, and Gamma gave me this kind of an output earlier. Using the same prompts, I tried it on Canva, and this is one more output that Canva gave to me earlier, just for your reference. Some of these outputs look like this. So for your reference, you can use it for so much more. You can actually build great PPTs out of it, right? Coming on to stage 3, which is one of the more exciting stages after our bonus tool, GenSpark, is how do you sound like an expert, even if you're not one? Now, I know all of you are experts, okay? A lot of you have a lot of years of work experience, a lot of you have presented before, but it is very important to know that the data you have presented in your presentations is number one, accurate, okay, that it is correct and accurate. Number two, it is not plagiarized, okay? It is not taken from somewhere else verbatim, but that you have used your mind to actually present that data and it is not plagiarized. Number three, that you should deliver that with confidence. You should have your notes ready, right? Even for this particular session that I'm taking. Of course, I practiced for this, right? It's not something you get overnight. You practice the entire 5 minutes or 30 minutes or 1 hour of delivery beforehand. Okay, so how do you generate great speaker notes? And then lastly, how do you practice over video? Okay, so coming to our first part of what do I do after I created my basic presentation is fact checking for statistics. Okay, fact checking for the claims you have put in your slide. Okay, how do we do that? I go back to my prompt thing and I give this prompt to Perplexity where we were so far putting all our content. What is the prompt? Fact check all the content. If the content is right, show me references with clickable links. Otherwise, tell me where it is wrong and search for content with references. Okay. And what is the content I'm going to put to it? I can just simply go to the PPT I have created on Napkin or sorry, on Canva. I can go to the PPT I have newly created and export it. Okay, why am I exporting it right now? I'll export it in a PDF format so that I can fact check all the content I have put in my PPT. Okay, I could have done the fact check even at the content generation stage, but you can even do it now after you've created the PPT. Okay, so after you've created the PPT, you can even go and do the fact check over here. You can even use GPT for fact checking, by the way. So you can do it either in GPT or in Perplexity. I think it will yield quite the similar results. But it is important to know that whatever you have claimed in your slides is accurate, is backed by a credible source, okay? And you can use AI to check the accuracy, okay? So our PPT is just loading over here on GPT for the fact check part of it. I think there's some issue. Let me try it again. Awesome. So let's try uploading the PPT we generated on Canva again on GPT for the fact checking part of it. Come on. Okay, since it's not loading the PPT, why don't we copy paste the content part of it? So at least the claims will be double checked using another AI tool, right? So let's do this. Let's copy paste the content part of the PPT because the PPT itself is taking some time to load. And we are checking Perplexity's facts using GPT right now. But I hope everyone's with me so far and the session pace is okay. Yes, yes. Awesome. Awesome. I really love how interactive all of you are on the chat box. It means a lot. And I hope you're having some takeaways. Great. Great. So let's give GPT another minute to quickly check the fact and the claims, okay? I mean, AI only gets us so far, right? Sometimes, as humans, that is what distinguishes us, whether we've actually put in our brains to understand whether the content is right, whether it is making logical sense, whether the storyboarding is correct or not. Of course, AI helps a lot in this process. AI, think of it like an aid, okay? But it will not substitute your thinking. You at the same time need to do some amount of basic research, fact checking, some amount of basic storyboarding on your own. So you can have AI as step one or step two, but your human thinking, human intuition should be at some part of the stage before you decide um, to go ahead and present something, right? Okay, somebody's asking me for my LinkedIn profile. You can just, I think it's Vidhi Agarwal 01 or something like that, after a backslash. And here we have it. So most of it is true, some of it needs softening. And then we got a disclaimer here that, you are saying 80% of the revenue comes from 20% repeat customers, but GPT thinks that it is not a supported written data. What you can cite credibly is that 41% revenue is coming from 8% people. Okay. So instead of saying 80% from 20%, you can say 41% from 8%. That is a change that GPT is suggesting you can make basis this particular source. Okay. Some of the facts are partially supported, some are directionally right, some are not supported. Now, what you can do here is whatever there is a tick mark on, you are good to go. Wherever you see a cross, right, that it's overgeneralized or it is not supported, you can choose to verify the facts. And if it really is not supported, you can edit it out in your final PPT. Okay. Take your final PPT and you edit that part out. If you think that it's not right, if it's not backed by proper claims, if the output that Perplexity gave to you may not be right, you can completely choose to edit it out. Okay. So, see, a proper fact verification of the data has happened from GPT. Okay. Now, what I want you all to also check for is plagiarism. Okay. How many of you know what plagiarism is? Anybody knows what plagiarism is? Right? Yes, yes, me. Okay. So, plagiarism is presenting someone else's work or someone else's idea as your own, right? Absolutely. Like it's like a copyrighted material, right? Without giving them proper credit. You present somebody else's idea or research as your own without giving them credit. Okay. So it's technically intellectual theft at the end of the day, right? And it can have serious consequences, especially if you're in an academic setup or something. So it's okay to cite sources that, okay, I took this from a McKinsey report or I took this from a World Economic Forum report, but be original about some of the content. Okay. So how you can do it is today we have tools like plagiarismdetector.net. Okay. There is a tool called plagiarismdetector.net. Okay. This is what the window looks like. And you can check your content's uniqueness by pasting the content over here. Okay. So today we will paste our content over here. There's a limit of up to 1,000 words. Our content is just 250 words. So we're good to go. If it was more than that, we could have, of course, pasted it part by part. But let plagiarismdetector.net do the content uniqueness part of it. Okay. And you can even use this tool to check grammar and everything, which is also a great idea, by the way, right? It's a good idea to check grammar as well. You can use plagiarism detector or you can even use tools like Grammarly. Okay, those are also very commonly used tools. But it's a good idea to not just do plagiarism check, but also a grammar check, right? And yeah, so plagiarism detector will tell you how much percentage of your content is unique, how much is exactly plagiarized from somewhere, and how much is partially plagiarized from somewhere. And luckily for us, thankfully for us, 100% of our content is unique. Okay, plagiarism was not found. So that's great, right? Had you found plagiarism here, let's say that I told you that this particular line is plagiarized verbatim from some source, you can of course edit it out or change the way of presenting the thing a little bit. You can change the format, change the insight a little bit to add your touch to it. But for us right now, our presentation is unique, our content is unique, so that's good to go. Okay. And you remember, like in my MBA days, we had this tool called Turnitin, and it would actually check if our content was plagiarized. Okay. So, you couldn't copy assignments from other friends and all of that. And it's a good tool they introduced because during COVID, we all know what happened with all the online assignments and all the online exams and everything. And everybody was just very nicely copying assignments and exams and everything from each other. So they introduced something like Turnitin. At least during my MBA days, we had it. And yeah, a lot of you are saying it's still used today, and in IITs we have it. So it's a good idea to check your PPTs or assignments or whatever on some plagiarism detection websites. Okay. So now that we have uh, checked for facts and statistics, and now that we have checked for plagiarism, what we're going to do in the last part of today's session is check for speaker notes and make proper text and proper speaker notes for the part where we need to present somewhere, right? You remember we spoke about how a lot of us have presentation anxiety. So ChatGPT can help you uh, prepare presentation notes and speaker notes for your content. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to GPT and tell GPT, help me draft clear, compelling speaker notes for the attached PPT to present to Amazon India country head. Okay. And this is the PPT. Make me sound professional, smart, persuasive, convincing, and keep the text short. I also tell it the presentation time, okay, that my presentation will be there for like 5 minutes. So please adjust the content length accordingly, keeping in mind that I present in a medium pace. Okay. So once I've given it the prompt, and don't worry, you'll get the prompt bundle at the end of the session. And I've uploaded my PPT as well with this prompt. It is giving me line by line speaker notes for every slide. Okay. So you don't just stop with content generation or fact checking for GPT, you even use it for speaker notes. Okay. And you can practice this. Amazon India operates in a hyper competitive market where every percentage point of customer retention compounds into huge long term gains. Okay. Similarly, so on and so forth, it gives you speaker notes for each of the 5 slides. You don't need to settle for this. You can like uh, keep it a little more conversational. Maybe I can, give it further prompts that I'm not okay with this. I want you to keep it a little more conversational. Make me sound like a expert management consultant. Okay. So you can always choose to edit out the text and the output that GPT has given to you. And now see, it's given me a slightly more conversational tone. Let's start with a simple truth. In e-commerce, growth doesn't come from acquiring more customers. It comes from keeping the ones you already have, right? So now GPT has made it a little more conversational. You can choose to edit it out in no matter how many ways you want. You might want to make your content funny. You might want to make it more crisp. You might want to spend, instead of 5 minutes on your deck, you might want to spend 10 minutes explaining it. So you might want to make it slightly more lengthy, slightly more detailed. So you can give it follow up, top up prompts to get the exactly right notes that you want. But for now, isn't this great? Like, yes, I will be sharing these prompts. Don't worry. It will be available on your LMS in the form of notes. But see, it has given me line by line explanation of every slide that I have uploaded here. Okay, great. So I have the notes ready with me. But is this enough? No, right? It's not enough. I would want to see how these notes actually sound. And I'm going to use a tool called unlimitedtts.com. Okay. This is the tool. It's completely free to use. I sometimes use ttsmp3.com and I sometimes use this tool called unlimitedtts.com. Either or works the same way. But you get unlimited free text to speech generators over here. And what I can do is I will copy paste the output from GPT into unlimitedtts.com to see how that, I mean, not to see, to hear how that text sounds. Okay. Sometimes when you read something, you understand it. But when you listen back to your content, you realize that, okay, some things are probably not so right. So tools like unlimitedtts.com help you practice voice delivery hands free. So for example, you're sitting in a metro ride, you're going to office, and you want to just practice your speaker notes once again before you reach. What you're going to do is go to this unlimitedtts.com, paste your notes there, and hear it back. You can even download it and hear it back. Okay. So it helps you understand that, okay, it's going to test your time to talk. It's going to test how the flow sounds. It can help you understand, okay, these are the parts which are difficult to understand. Probably it sounds too complicated when I hear it back. Okay. So we're just going to tell GPT that I want to paste this prompt into uh, TTS and help me refine accordingly. So it will help you refine your notes accordingly so that you can paste it into a TTS. You can even paste the notes as is into a TTS. That is also okay. TTS stands for text to speech. Okay. So GPT is now giving me the content to paste into the TTS website, the TTS tool, so that I can hear it back. It will play the text back to me in an audio format. Okay. And I went to this tool, I pasted the text here. Okay. And I can choose to alter the speed. Okay. 1x speed, 2x speed. Maybe let me keep it at a 1x speed. I can choose the language. I can choose the dialects. Let me choose an Indian dialect. I can choose the pitch, high pitch, low pitch. I can choose the volume. Okay. And then I can click on speak. Okay. Let's see if you guys can hear it. Tell me if you all can hear it.
Bullseye. Slide 1. Churn costs billions. AI is the game changer. Let's start with a simple truth. In e commerce, growth doesn't come from acquiring more customers.
Awesome, right? Now, this is one of the slightly more robotic voices, I would say. You can even use other tools like TTS MP3, and it gives you slightly more naturally sounding voice. It helps you hear back the text you have generated for your presentation, right? It helps you convert it into speech. Awesome, right? The last tool I want to cover today is called Udly. Okay, it's one of my favorite tools and I've kept it for the last. So it's called Udly, app.udly.ai. Anyone used this tool before? Anyone used this tool before? No, no, no. Okay. Getting some yeses, but mostly no's. Never mind. I'm going to explain this for the benefit of everyone because it's extremely relevant for today's class and you're going to love this tool. Okay. Now, Udly is a tool where you can practice your video, okay, the video part of your delivery with proper screen share and everything. And Udly will give you your strengths and improvement areas, right? So I love that part of Udly. Why don't I show it to you how it works in real life? Okay. Why don't I show this tool to you in real life? I click on practice. Okay. Let me click on presentation because that is the topic for today. Okay. I will grant Udly the access to my camera and my microphone. Okay. And I allow it while visiting this site, for example. Okay. So here I have it. Okay. It has loaded my camera. It has loaded my audio, video, everything. And then I can click on start. Okay, 3, 2, 1, here we go. So as you can see, Udly typically requires about 45 to 60 seconds of content for it to give you proper feedback on whatever you have spoken, right? So think of it like your judgment-free AI tool, which you can use to practice your presentation delivery, okay? Udly will give you your strengths, it will give you your improvement areas and everything, all the analysis you need to make your presentation more interactive. Okay. So I remember during my college days, I had enrolled into this organization called Toastmasters. Okay. Has anyone heard about Toastmasters? I took this Toastmaster subscription and the insights that Toastmasters gave to me today, Udly as an AI tool can give it to me for free, absolutely for free. And Toastmasters was a slightly more premium subscription, I would say. So isn't that great? Okay, now I pause this presentation. I have uploaded about a minute of content here. And then I click on save and view analysis. Okay. Whatever I spoke in the last 1 minute, Udly has recorded it. It is saving the analysis out of the 1 minute video and see it has given me a proper transcript of whatever I have spoken in this minute. Okay, and on the right side, you will see all the analytics here. It will give me proper coaching. Okay, it is telling me the strength that you made an effort to connect personally by referencing your college experiences. It is telling me my growth area, that you should be content focused. You're giving me vague comparisons, you're giving repetitive remarks. Okay, it is telling me another growth area, that you should illustrate your point with stronger storytelling. Okay, you should have done this instead. It's giving me so many growth areas, right? It's giving me like 10 growth areas probably. And that's great. It's telling me that, these are some potential follow up questions that you should be prepared for. It's giving me like probably three follow up questions that I should be prepared for. It is analyzing my entire audio video and telling me what the tone of my content was. Okay. Usually thinks that my tone was enthusiastic, engaging. That's great. It's telling me if I was concise or not. It is telling me a summary of what I spoke, right? It is analyzing my pronunciation, that I am pronouncing certain things in certain ways, and this is how I can pronounce it even better. Isn't that great? And that's not enough. Udly is even giving me analytics, right? What went well, that I did not use a lot of filler words, okay? My repetition was only at 1%, which is typically less than the average of 4%. So that's great. What could have gone better is, let's say, filler words, weak words, conciseness, that I spoke 42% more than I needed to. My sentence opening started with so, right? So is a very weak sentence opener. So it's giving me proper things on what went well. My eye contact went well. I was perfectly centered in the screen. My pacing was conversational. My pauses were, I did a great job with pauses. So you all can also practice your delivery for your next, not just your next presentation, by the way. It's a great tool to practice your interviews as well. Okay. A lot of the tools I'm showing you today don't have just one limited use case. You can even use it for cracking your next interview. Isn't that awesome? Right? This is an amazing tool, right? So you can use Udly for all of this practicing. You can practice presentations, role plays, interviews, a lot of this. Okay. So we have ended our stage three as well, where we learned about perplexity, plagiarism detector, GPT for speaker notes. We learned about text to speech, and we learned about Udly. Great. Let me quickly summarize whatever we have learned in the last 75 minutes. Okay. Let me take a step back here and summarize whatever we have learned in the last 75 minutes as a recap. Okay. We did three stages. Remember, the first stage was research and ideation, where we drafted content for our Amazon India problem using tools like Perplexity and GPT. Okay. Then we went on to stage two, which was the visual part of our PPT creation, where we created a PPT draft on Gamma and then edited out on Canva. We made some mind maps and infographics on Napkin. And I also discussed a bonus tool for you. Anyone remembers the bonus tool name? Anyone remembers the bonus tool name that I showed to you? Gen Spark, absolutely. It's there on the slide. Okay, no brownie points for you all. So we discussed a bonus tool, Gen Spark, which can go from content creation to PPT generation in a matter of minutes. Okay. And then last stage, stage three, we discussed was on fact checking and speaker notes. We checked for plagiarism using plagiarismdetector.net. We checked for verification of facts on GPT. We converted our text to speech on unlimitedtts.com. And finally, we ended with an AI tool, Udly, for practicing the visual part of your presentations, right? So, you know, I'm going to end with a gift for all of you. Thank you so much for staying with me till here. The session's not over yet. Give me 5 to 10 more minutes to wrap it up for you. So, I have an exclusive gift for all of you. It is a custom GPT for PPT creation. I personally know how much you folks love using custom GPTs, okay? And this is what the custom GPT looks like. Just one second. So this is, it'll be there in your notes, don't worry. Yeah. So this is what your custom GPT looks like. What can you use it for? You can use it for presentations. It has been trained on a lot of data, folks. And this is built to like not just give you content, but proper instructions and like ready to use prompts and formulas. Okay, it can help you create decks very fast. You just need to type in your topic, and this custom GPT will give you your titles and your structure and your draft content by asking you questions and answering them for you, right? So let's say, give me a topic. Come on, give me a topic that you want to create a PPT for. Yes, everybody will get the custom GPT link. It will be there in the notes along with the prompts. But for now, why don't you give me a topic that you want to test out on custom GPT? Okay, mutual fund, logistic, US government shutdown, corruption, tariff. How many of you are from a very core business background? AI in health, India versus Pakistan, Asia Cups, corruption, me. Somebody wants the topic to be me. How to become a billionaire, tariffs, whatever. Impact of AI in 2030. I like this. Impact of AI in 2030. Okay, somebody suggested this topic. Now, I am not going to tell it anything else. All I typed in the prompt window was impact of AI in 2030. This custom GPT already has past context on what I want to do with this topic. It is asking me follow-up questions so that it can help me draft and narrow down my content better. Okay. It is asking me what type of presentation is this. I'm going to tell it it's a business strategy deck. Okay. Then the second question it has asked me is who is your audience? Okay, let's say my audience is executives. What is your main goal? Risk, benefit, forecast, opportunities. Let's say I want to cite the opportunities for impact of AI in 2030. Okay, I answer these simple questions in the custom GPT, and now it is giving me proper prompts for AI slide generator and all of that. See, so it is telling me, do you want this for an industry or not? It is helping me. It is helping me navigate properly step by step on how I can build presentations better. Okay, so I can keep chatting with it, and we can come to a final output for it. But this custom GPT, do give it a try the next time you just have a simple topic and you're facing a blank slide syndrome and you don't know where to start. Okay. So coming back, I want to like thank you all for staying till the end. Okay. My team will be dropping in a link for the feedback form in the chat box. Okay. It would mean the world to me if you can take out less than 60 seconds or maybe less than 2 minutes even to fill out that feedback for me. Okay. I would love to know what is it that we can do better in the coming sessions. Okay, what is it that you would want me to cover in the next sessions? I would also love to know what you learned in today's class. Okay, you can even add the key takeaways you had from today's class in the feedback form, and you know how it helps you in your next presentation. So you can drop in anything and everything that you would want to give in as a feedback. Okay, I would love to know what you loved about today's class. I would also like to know what you think could have gone better about today's class. It'll really help us improve a lot. So take out like a minute. My team has sent the feedback form link in the chat box. It's a very quick, short form, and you can just quickly submit your feedback. And that's it for today, then, that's it for today. Don't drop in your feedback in this chat box, just drop it in the feedback form link so that we can actually read it and work on it. Okay. So thank you for being such an energetic group. Okay, this is one of the more energetic groups I have taught in my tenure, and you folks were super interactive. Thank you so much for spending the last 2 hours with me. I hope you had some takeaways. Would love to know what we can do better in our next session. Give us a rating in the feedback form, right? Thank you so much, everyone. Take care. Bye bye.